want to thank you for being here today and for taking a couple of minutes to just check in with me, either on the replay or right now, right here. I really want to thank you for doing this. It means a lot. And these messages that I send out to people are really important for me, that people get something out of this. So I really appreciate all the comments or any questions that you have, and thank you for your participation. If you don't know already, my name is Robert Grigore. I am a clinical counselor here at Grigore Counselling, and I provide trauma therapy for people, individuals, and couples. And I also do online therapy now as well, so there's lots of ways to get in touch with me if you'd like to. But today's topic, what I really wanted to express is this idea of this question: are you traumatized and you don't know it? Right? So when, classically people think about trauma, you tend to think about, the very obvious traumas, like your car accidents or your, assaults on the street or something like that, which are, clearly those can be traumatic incidents. But what's really not talked about very often are what else can be traumatic. And, for me and in the EMDR community, the idea of trauma is something that's a lot bigger than those, obvious incidences. So for me, a trauma is anything at all that is considered overwhelming. So at any point in time when the organism feels overwhelmed, that can be traumatic. So this could be really anything. It could be something where, thank you for the like, when you're a kid and you're being bullied in school. Or it could be, I was bullied in school as a kid, and that over time became quite traumatic. It could be something like being rejected when you ask somebody out on a date. It could be something like being afraid to ask your employer for a promotion, and sitting with the distress of what that feels like for you, feeling like you can't ask for that, what you deserve. It could be tripping and falling, and not breaking anything, but kind of feeling embarrassed or something if people see you. So there can be all kinds of things that begin to be traumatic for people that are overwhelming. When we talk about traumas in the EMDR community, we really differentiate between what we consider to be large T traumas and small T traumas. And the obvious ones, of course, are like we mentioned before, like your car accidents or war traumas or terrorist attacks or assaults or something like that, which are very clearly traumatic incidences. But the small T traumas are much more pernicious, and they kind of sneak under the radar quite a bit, where you might not quite be so sure. And even though they're not maybe as obviously impactful for one time, if you add them up over time, over the course of a childhood or several years or months, it can be quite traumatic for individuals. So let's take an example. I just mentioned to you that I was bullied as a kid. So when I was bullied as a kid, I used to believe that I was worthless and that I was not cool enough to be included in this group, and that really nobody wants to be my friend. And so what happened for me as a child and growing up through school was I believed this to be the case. And then every time that there was a scenario where I was picked last in sports, or I wasn't invited to a party, or I wasn't really in the in circle in a particular junction point in my childhood life, instead of what I might think of now is my adult brain that would say, well, we have different interests, and maybe they were talking about something privately that only they wanted to talk about. My childhood brain, being very egotistical, especially at that age, right, being ego self-focused, interpreted that stuff as there being a clear sign that there's something wrong with me. And the more instances that happened, the more times that I put that, sort of grouped it into the same category in my brain as, evidence that there's something wrong with me and that I'm not good enough and that I'm worthless. So over time, that belief got stronger and stronger and stronger, that I'm worthless. And when I say that, a belief, what I'm talking about is something that you feel in your gut, or I felt in my gut, like in the core of who I was, who I am as a human being, is worthless. And I could have had several experiences where people were celebrating me, like a birthday or something like that, or taking me out to a Jays game. I'm a huge Jays fan. We sucked this year though. But even though those experiences could have happened, I didn't believe that they were true. It didn't change my core belief, because I still have this sense that I'm not good enough, that I'm worthless. So what I want to do right now is I want to challenge you to think back on your life right now, from your childhood on, and do you think that, push away any obvious traumas that have happened to you in your life, and can you get in touch with something that is sort of lower grade, but something that happened frequently, that you think, as you focus on that now, may have influenced who you think you are today, who you believe you are in your core, something that feels a little bit negative. Exactly. Good. I hope you're doing that right now. And as you do that, ask yourself, what does that mean about me as a person? And allow yourself to be that inner critic in the back of your head right now. And just, what is that? What is that saying about? And again, for me, it was this statement, I am worthless. You might have something different. I am blank, or this means that I cannot this, or I can't this, or I can this. Get in touch with what that feels like for you. And don't be afraid to ask yourself some tough questions, because as you do this, as you focus on where this stuff is coming from, that's how you can begin to move on, where you can face this underlying trauma that is really hard to sometimes focus on, and this can help you move forward. So I want to encourage you to do this if it feels right for you. If it doesn't feel right for you, definitely stop. Don't push it. But if it feels like this is a place for you to go, I want to encourage you to do that work for yourself. And if you have any questions about this technique, or about if you've been traumatized, or what constitutes as a trauma, or if you're interested in learning more about my services and how you can get help yourself, please don't hesitate to contact me. You can PM me in Facebook. You can send me an email at info@grigorecounselling.com. That's my last name, spelled Grigore, counseling, the Canadian version, counselling.com, info@grigorecounselling.com. Or you can shoot me a text message, or give me a call at 778-883-4819, or just check out my website, grigorecounselling.com. I really thank you for being here, checking out this video. Please like my Facebook page. You can check me out on Twitter and Instagram, and reach out if you like. I love comments, I love questions. I really want to be a part of your healing journey in whatever way, shape, or form. And if not, that's cool too. I wish you the best of luck on your healing journey. So hopefully this was helpful for you, and I'll check in with you later.